Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, ReadersMagnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, ReadersMagnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank ReadersMagnet and everybody that's involved. I love ReadersMagnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hello, I'm Rotha Dawkins. I'm from Thomasville, North Carolina. I'm looking forward to spending a few minutes with you today. And yesterday was a great session. I appreciated all of the wonderful input from our viewers. And of course, ReadersMagnet has done a wonderful job presenting us. So thank you so much, everyone. And we'll get started. And I hope you'll be sending us some of your questions, and we'll try to do some answering. I'm sitting here in my office, and my dog just jumped off my lap, so I guess she'll go take her a little nap while we spend our time together. As you know, I have the book Treats and Tales, and this is a book that we have had out on the market for quite a while. They have gotten a new look, and everything is just super nice. People are buying this, and we're having a great time with it. But before I get into telling you so much about my book, I'm going to tell you just a little bit more about Rotha. I was born in Lexington, North Carolina, and I have a formal wear store now. I've been in this store for about 40 years. And prior to that, I was in Seattle and Great Falls, Montana, and California even. So we've in New York. So that's where I got my schooling, was in New York. So I do love the time that I've spent with the varied people across the way. And so they input a lot to you, and you take pieces here, pieces there from people. And you think one day, maybe I should write a book about some of that. In the past, when I was real young, I did some books, started them and didn't know where to go. I didn't have anybody to help me. And so I kind of gave up and threw them in the bottom of the closet. But I'm doing better now. I've only written about 14 books besides Treats and Tales, which is new. And also another book that I have is On Call, which is about a fire department. And we'll get into that also later. But, you know, it takes doing. You have to just sit down and really do it. I have a message from a Renee, and she says she loves hearing about my life. So I guess that means I'm supposed to tell you just a little bit more. And I found that writing was something you can always do. When I was driving a truck for a period of time too, because I opened a store in New York and ran that for about I guess about 7 years, a furniture store. See, North Carolina is the furniture capital of everything. So this way we take and North Carolina is the clothing and North Carolina is the furniture capital. New York is clothing industry. So I did some of both. I would still kept my store going, had people running it for me in Thomasville, and I had me a store in New York where Pat Sager handled that for me, and we were back and forth. So I drove a truck for a lot of years. And while I was driving that truck, I had some people that asked me if I would consider writing some books about life on the road of truck drivers. So I did that. And we did, I believe there's about 7 or 8 volumes about on the road trucking. We've got a poetry book with that. We have On Call, or a whole bunch of them. And On Call kind of was to be part of the trucking books, but On Call is not really about trucking. It's more about people. So that gave us a whole lot to draw from and to add to. And it was really wonderful to uh, involve the trucking industry. And they sponsored me to write these books. They gave me the money that I needed to produce the books and have that where they could get it to drivers and promote the industry. And promotion is a very big part of my life. If you don't think that promoting your books is important, that's one of the most important things. That's where Reader's Magnet comes in. They promote. They know how to promote. They know how to get people to you and to want you and to want what you have and want more of you. And so once they promote you, they make you write another book. I'm already on another one that Bob said I had to do. So we're doing a book that'll come later on. So Treats and Tales is a neat little story, and it's about dogs that talk like people. And of course, I talk to my dog. She's like my best friend, you know. I guess maybe she is my best friend. And she's a Chihuahua. And I like my daughter's 4 dogs. She has one that's a mixed breed, big dog. And my Chihuahua's in love with him. And then she has the 3 beautiful Dachshunds, and I love them. One's redheaded, and he's the color of my hair. And as I said yesterday, I take him to the beauty shop so I can get my hair color right. So that's the color of that dog. So if you're interested in that, the Dalmatians, you'll find many of them pictured throughout the book, and we keep other animals in the book too. We've got pictures of all of them throughout the book, but Treats and Tales tells more than just the story about the animals that are in the animal shelters that are trying to find a home. And if you need a pet, go to your local animal shelter. They'll be glad to help you out, and I know that you will enjoy it. We also cover clothing. We teach you how in the book, kind of the back side of the book, to make clothing for your pets, and so that you can, you don't have to just do a bow. Somebody asked me on one interview I had, what about a snake? Well, yeah, you can always try anything for anybody or anything. But a snake, I suggest to do a bow at the neck and go down the body and then add one at the bottom. So that would make a snake outfit. But it would be really wonderful if you would try some of the things that we have. We also have a lot of recipes. And yesterday I didn't have time to get to a lady who had called in or written in, and she wanted to know about the possible recipes, which one I like and which one would be the easiest, and so on down the line. And I told her that on about page 171 in Treats and Tales, there's a recipe about dog pops, and they're easy to make, and they're frozen treats, because dogs love ice cream, but they're not supposed to have our ice cream. There's a lot of things that we have, whether it's right or wrong. The vets tell us, don't give your animals all the same things that you have, although they say that when they walk through the woods that they eat the creatures that are out there. And so if they grab one, back in the old days when there was fox and deer and things, and they had to pull out their own stuff, they didn't have somebody to hand them a tasty pop or something good. And of course, the biscotti is a favorite, but it's not as simple as making the pops. But biscotti is great, and most of the dogs really love them. In the clothing, we make little leggings. Some areas are real cold areas, and you have a little dog that's got very little hair on it. So I would suggest go to pages in the back, look up the leggings, and look up the hats, and look up the little uh, garments. But you want to make sure that every time that you make a garment for your dog, we put the patterns in that you can do a follow through. You can measure to your dog's body shape and size and fit to the dog what you want to put on them. So this is fun, and wearing clothing always brings people to you. They'll say, "Hey, I love this little outfit on your puppy. Where did you get it?" "Well, I made it myself." Well, that is even extra special when you can do things that's yours. And a lot of young kids have taken the Treats and Tell book and found the leggings and found different things that they wanted to do. So I hope that you will enjoy trying that part of the book. And we have I have a message, but I did not quite get that one. Maybe you can bring it back to me, but I will get that. It was about a message from JW, and I really hope that you will continue sending us messages. Uh, you're on our show when you do this, and our show is the number one thing on Amazon right this minute. And say, so JM says they love my hair. What's the best treat for the dogs this Halloween? Well, don't use a lot of dyes and don't use too much black. Licorice is not good for the animals, but my doggies love the biscotti, and you can always give them biscotti, and that's something they love. Although, when I make biscotti, the police canine dogs come and the handler gets the biscotti for the dog, and they give them the plain cookies. So cookies are good for dogs, and they love them. And one is always fun. Two is even better. So thank you, JM. I appreciate you calling in or writing in and enjoy visiting the Festival of Storytellers. We're glad to share with you and spend time with you. And we're looking forward to Halloween with all of us doing what we have to do. And then, of course, we have to go to New York to do our thing there. So I hope that that helped you. And I hope that maybe you might find you a dachshund and dye your hair that color. But anyhow, this is my natural hair color. So anyhow, but the dog helped. Uh, I I have for the wearing their safety clothing and leggings and so forth. Just make sure that things are safe when you do it. That you're feeding them safe food and you're feeding them, giving them safe uh, clothing to wear. Um, Dogs can have liver and intestine problems because of things they pick up off the floor. So if you ever drop a pill, be sure and pick it up, sweep it, find it, vacuum, whatever it takes. Always be sure to keep your pets safe so that they will be able to do that. Um, we want you to really enjoy our book. I hope this book will go through your life and you'll share it, and other people you know will share it. Reader's Magnet has done a marvelous job pulling it together, getting all these pretty animals put in there. And, I love all kinds of animals, and that really makes a good story. Cats are important too, and I had kitty cats standing at the back of my building in the city hall here in North Carolina. Took them all to the doctor and had them neutered, and they clipped the little ear just a little bit so that when the dog catcher comes back through, he knows that this puppy has been, or kitty cat has been neutered, and that they get to stay in town and be city mouser. So that's a big job for our kitties here. We have had a real time with mice and small rats, and they have absolutely done a great job since they brought them back and let them mouse and clean house. So that's always a good thing for us. We uh, would like to thank Ethan Lee. I appreciate you writing to reader or calling into Reader's Magnet and sharing your thoughts and your hopes, and said, I think it's a must read book for all dog lovers. And you're exactly right. We appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for um, sharing with us. And I hope that you'll enjoy this. Be sure and reach out to Barnes and Noble or to Reader's Magnet and get you a copy of our book, because you will love it. And Amazon, of course, has it also. So be sure and uh, let us hear from you later on down the line. Let us know. And if you've written a book, get in touch with us. We want that too. We're very outgoing, and I love the PR that the Reader's Magnet has done to share with the world what we're doing. It doesn't, for me, just to be a author, it doesn't mean as much as hearing from people who like us being author and like us helping. And now let me see Jennifer Jackson. So great to hear from you. So nice that you would take this time out, and we really are excited about this. Uh, you would like to know um, the book impact to a relationship between dogs and people. Uh, how would I like to impact it? Well, I would like for people to be more generous to their pets and to other pets. And if you see one someplace, know that when someone has a pet outside, that it's their pet. It's not something that you should do to uh, go over and grab hold. You may be talking to someone that has a pet that is uh, for their own safety, and that's a very important factor. But the relationship between dogs and people is always great. Know too that animals have their way of talking to you. You know, there's an old movie or story about talking to the animals, and that was a great thing for a long period of time. Maybe we'll be a movie someday and teach everybody more about their pets and more about talking to their animals. It's just really fun. Their dogs and cats are like people. They understand us. And my dog can come up to me and she'll sit and stare at me, and that means I'm ready to go out. And so I get on the ball and I take her. But she'll talk, and if somebody comes in that she doesn't really want to be there, she's not sure of, she'll bark. And they have different barks and different voices. So let their voice be heard, and you learn to specially talk to them and share with them how you feel too. Just talk to them like a regular person. When you're talking to your pet, that's to not be considered that you're talking to yourself, even if you are. But I talk to myself, I talk to my pet, probably talk to my pencil. We appreciate hearing from, uh, let's see, I believe this is Justic Ryler. I'll have to put my glasses on to see these names because I'm not doing such a good Justice River. Yes, good morning. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate this. I don't look too bad in my glasses anyhow. But I hope that you have one of Treats and Tales. And if you haven't, please go find one from one of the places. It's ready and available. And the Festival of Storytellers is telling you about all the books available through us, I call it us. I'm part of Reader's Magnet, and that's a part of me. And I do think that it's very important for us to share our good goodwill from the publicity and the times that we have that goes for you to learn more about us. As an author, I've trailed all kinds of people, different dogs, taking pictures and doing things to get this book put together. It took me a long time to get Treats and Tales together. I spent almost a year when I'm doing just a novel that is like all words, like Red High Hills is all words. Well, all I did with that was just follow my pencil, and I write it, and I can go on and I can knock one out in about 4 or 5 months. So that makes that easier. But Treats and Tales was a real study, and you have some that you can do easier than others. JM, how many how many dogs do I have? I have my one Peppy, and then I get to play with my daughter's dog. She has 4, and I love them. We sleep together. I have one that's my heater. He's the little red-headed dog, and he's a dachshund. He stays underneath the cover all night long. And somebody said they checked with Amazon for the books, and they're cute small dogs on the cover. So please order you 1, 2, or 3. Your friends makes great Christmas presents too, and stay with the Festival of Storytellers. I do appreciate JM you checking with us. It's so great that people do call in or write in. And I used to have a radio show many years ago, and I had a TV show, so I was used to getting feedback by seeing my people, and it's harder when you just get the opportunity just to have just a little bit. And but Red Sanchez says that Treats and Tales is a good read, especially if you have pets at your own home, and that is exactly correct. We appreciate you, Red, letting us hear from you. And of course, Reader's Magnet is our number one place to come to for all books, and our fun that we have pulling them together is always made factual. And in the end, when you get that final thing that your editor calls and says, your book is on the way. Oh my Lord, that is like going to heaven. You fall out on the floor and kick your legs up. Even at 83, I did it again. And JM loves to see your dogs next time. Would love to see your dogs next time, Rotha. Well, the 4 are not with me, and maybe at some point I can pull Peppy out if she'll come out here. She's kind of bashful, but then you know how it is with dogs. When you first touch them, it's jump, 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 and they're all over you and lick you and kiss you and do all those things. But she's on the cover along with all the others. The Chihuahua there is her, and then through the book you'll find Chihuahua Peppy. I had a Chihuahua before her who lived to be 19 years old, and she loved everybody. And that dog had absolutely no problems. I kept her with my vet all the time, and she was just so wonderful. And so it really made it super good to have me a dog that jumped in the car, go with all the people I knew. This Peppy that I have now, she's a little bit more skittish than the other Peppy, but my other Peppy just had a stroke and passed away, and that was the end. So this one, she's still going strong, and of course she sleeps with me. Doesn't your dog sleep with you too? I'm sure they do. But I do want to tell you too, in addition to Treats and Tales, I have another book that I have done, and it's called On Call, and it's available now through Barnes and Noble. And you'll love this book too. It's about fire departments, and my son is on the inside cover, was my inspiration, and I learned a great deal from uh, the fire department here in Thomasville and Lexington and the varied areas about the stress and the struggles and the good times and the hard times and the bad times. But to treat you additionally with On Call, I wanted to put in some recipes and they're throughout the book. And I know you're all going to love my grandma's uh, recipes. Some of them are from her, and especially the pound cake. That's what I'm well known for. I did have a bakery at one time, so we'll talk about that at another point. But I did want to introduce On Call to you, and tomorrow we'll be talking a great deal about On Call. We have a Natasha Fillmore says, thank you, Rotha. See you soon in Nyla. Okay, good. I would love to do that. That'll be fun. We'll be there with bells on, and we'll bring our pets. And I don't know if they'll allow our pets to come, but it'll be lots and lots of fun. The Festival of Storytellers is this week, and next week we go to the New York uh, Literary Association, and that's in New York City. I mean, not New York City; it's upstate New York. Thank you for uh, calling in, Leanne, and says, "Do you have special recipes for Pomeranians?" Well, we figure most dogs can have about the same thing, just don't cook as much or eat the rest of it if you do. But poms are so cute. I have a lady next door to me that has a little pom that has has had a accident, and she just can't get her little leg fixed, and so um, she's been in crutches. So we have had to do special things for her, and she loves the popsicles. The popsicle just makes her happy, and it's tiny, and she can use it. So, Leanne, if you will try that for your little palm, that I'm sure that she'll enjoy it and enjoy sharing with you what you've done for her. So, and then there's a lot of other recipes. We have a whole bunch cookies and different things. And I know they say liver is good for them, but I have a new recipe for liver, and my dog would not eat it. So you don't force them to eat something they don't want. But like your little palm shell, but they'll all eat that little treat. That's the cool thing. They like cold. They like ice cream, and so that way, I'm sure that you'll be able to get that worked out for 'em. I know that sometimes we think that our animals are supposed to eat everything that we eat, and they think so too. But that's not always the facts. If you uh, if you give them certain things, meds and so forth, you've got to give them theirs, and you got to be very careful and not give them meds that they love too much, because they'll sneak and get it from you. My dog would take the food off my plate if I leave the room and jump up on the chair, and she's gone with my steak. So I have to watch for that. But it's always fun to work with them, and I know that you'll enjoy the. I have another story about a little dog named Candy. She wasn't such a little dog; she was my dog, and somebody shot her, and I had to go through the grief of taking her to the vet, and ultimately, with 22 shots, shell shots in her, she had she had to be put down. Never fun. And Jennifer Jackson, I do appreciate you writing in, calling in to us. We love this. It's always great for us to have our people call and go to the storytellers and be sure and see our book, Treats and Tales. This will be something that you will love. Here's a picture. I get mixed up. Here we go. Here's a picture of our dog. See my Dalmatian here, and that makes it great for everybody to see. That's the Chihuahua right there in the middle, and that's close enough to Peppy there, and she's red too. So there we go. But please go and see our check with that book. You're invited to be here tomorrow again for uh, our show, and we want, and Randy, you were great to come. We appreciate your message, and I can let you. There are treats and tell pages that we wanted to show you. See, like inside, there's well, I'm, I'm getting confused. There's pages. There's puppies. There you go. And we have Dalmatians. I do love Dalmatians. I've had Dalmatians in my day too. And these are some of the artwork pictures that have been put in there also that are extremely great. So be sure and get the book. It's hard to present everything online because we have so very little uh, time and so forth. But we want you to also check out uh, our book On Call. You'll love that also. And On Call has a Dalmatian, and he's a very smart dog. He does a great job. He's fun, and it's cool things. So there's surprises in this book and surprises and treats and tales too. And we really want you to get all of our books, mine and everybody that's with Reader's Magnet, because we are here for you and they're here for you and for everybody across the country. And uh, the book On Call carries a big story about fire departments, and tomorrow we're going to talk more about that. So join me tomorrow if you would, so that we can enjoy that time together. And I'm Rotha Dawkins. I'm in Thomasville, North Carolina, and I would like to thank you for joining us, all the people that's been on camera to brought us the questions today. And I will do my best to be here tomorrow, same time, same place, about 12 o'clock. So be sure and come in tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.